While many believe the Sahara Desert is destined to swallow up land and lives, something surprising is happening. Just 2 years ago, the area now being revitalized by the Great Green Wall project was an arid desert, practically lifeless. But local communities, those who have suffered for generations from drought and land loss, are leading a revolutionary movement greening the Sahara. It's a vision that challenges everything we know about the power of nature and human resilience. And do you know what's even more impressive? This project doesn't rely on cutting-edge technology or million-dollar investments, but on something much stronger: the unity of the people. Families, farmers, and villagers are rolling up their sleeves to plant trees, restore the soil, and transform what once seemed like a death sentence into a future full of hope. But how can a simple tree change so much for these communities? The answer will surprise you. In this video, we'll dive into the stories of those making a difference, those reversing the fate of the Sahara and, perhaps, of our planet. Want to understand how this is happening? Keep watching and discover how these communities are overcoming the desert. The cracked soil and desolate landscape reflect what seems like a future without hope. Imagine the contrast in a region where not even weeds could survive, and suddenly, new trees begin to appear. A bold initiative, no doubt, but one with the potential to change the landscape forever. The revitalization of the Sahara Desert, particularly in this part of Senegal, came in response to an urgent need. Local communities, once skeptical, are now directly involved in the action of greening the Sahara, planting seeds and trees. Think of the farmers who, for generations, watched their lands turn barren, but who now, with the support of the project, can once again dream of cultivating. These people are rewriting their stories, transforming the soil, and restoring their relationship with the land. Can you imagine how a change like this could impact an entire generation? As this area is restored, not only does the ecosystem begin to flourish, but so does the local economy. The land starts producing again, and opportunities grow along with it. The Great Green Wall isn't just planting trees, it's planting hope. And as communities witness the first green sprout in the once barren soil, they realize that the impossible is, in fact, the beginning of a new reality. The Great Green Wall's goal is monumental: to create a barrier of trees stretching from Senegal to Djibouti, covering around 8,000 kilometers. This green belt will serve as a line of defense against the relentless advance of the Sahara. Imagine that, a natural wall crossing continents, slowing down the desert while simultaneously revitalizing entire ecosystems. It's a bold vision, but a necessary one, because the impact of desertification goes far beyond what meets the eye. It affects everything from food security to forced migration, creating a domino effect of social and environmental challenges. This green wall isn't just made of trees planted randomly. It's composed of local species, carefully selected to withstand the harsh conditions of the Sahel and Sahara. The plan is not only to hold back the desert but also to transform the surrounding areas, making them productive again. Think of it as a combination of ecology and economy. Farmers living along this belt will be able to cultivate their land once more, creating real opportunities for sustainable development in these communities. The Great Green Wall is both a symbol of resistance and a beacon of hope for the entire region. The scale of this project is immense, and its success could change the fate of millions of people across the African continent. It's a clear example of how local action can have a global impact. And when thinking about the future, it's hard not to wonder, how far can this vision take us? What once seemed impossible is becoming a reality, but the process doesn't happen on its own. At first, many local residents had their doubts. After all, how could something as simple as planting trees reverse decades of degradation? But little by little, their perspectives began to shift. The techniques being introduced weren't entirely new, they were based on ancestral knowledge, adapted to this new mission of greening the Sahara. Now, the locals are rolling up their sleeves, actively working to reverse the aridity. And this is more than just planting saplings, it's planting a future, a vision of prosperity where there was once only desolation. The involvement of these communities is vital to the success of the Great Green Wall project. Imagine families working together, reviving methods passed down through generations, like using native plants and water conservation techniques. They are not only bringing life back to the land but also reclaiming their traditions. What was once met with skepticism is now a source of pride and unity. Additionally, they are realizing that by protecting the environment, they are also securing their livelihoods, ensuring future harvests. Through collective effort, the residents are proving that land regeneration is possible. Every new tree that grows is a symbol of resilience and renewal. The union of local knowledge and modern restoration technologies is bearing fruit, both literally and figuratively. Future generations now have the hope of seeing the desert bloom again. The journey continues, and the next stages promise to be even more impactful. Shall we take a closer look at where all this is happening? The Great Green Wall project is taking place in one of the world's most critical locations, Senegal, on the border between the Sahel and the Sahara. This area holds strategic importance because it's precisely where the desert is advancing the fastest, and where the impact of greening the Sahara can be most visible. Imagine the Sahara as an unstoppable force, pushing its dunes southward, swallowing fertile land. And there, on the front line, entire communities are fighting to keep their lands alive and productive. The location makes all the difference. This specific area in Senegal is a transition zone, where the climate conditions are harsh, and the soil is often barren. However, it's exactly on this frontier where the project's impact is most transformative. When you look at the line that separates the green from the area still under the shadow of the Sahara, it becomes clear that the Great Green Wall is beginning to fulfill its purpose. Senegal was not chosen by chance. The country has a long history of resisting desertification, and now that battle is intensifying. Each tree planted in this region represents more than just an attempt to stop the desert's advance, it's a symbol of resilience. The goal of extending this green wall across Africa, from Senegal to Djibouti, is ambitious but necessary. And while the desert continues its silent expansion, the people of Senegal are leading the fight, proving that landscape transformation is possible. But how exactly are they doing this? Let's dive into the innovative techniques being used to turn this vision into a reality. The rehabilitation techniques used in the Great Green Wall project are as innovative as they are effective. One of the most impactful methods is the so-called half-moon technology, where semicircular holes are dug into the ground to capture and store rainwater. It may seem simple, but this technique makes all the difference in arid regions like Senegal. By capturing the limited water available, these formations help restore soil fertility and ensure that the seeds planted have the best chance of growing. The use of this kind of technology is a clear example of how greening the Sahara is being carried out in a smart and practical way. Another key aspect is the use of native plant species. They were chosen not only for their ability to survive in extreme conditions but also for the specific benefits they bring to the soil and local biodiversity. These plants are like desert heroes, capable of restoring vitality to areas that, not long ago, were completely barren. The planting of these species is carefully planned to create a balanced and sustainable ecosystem. Imagine the impact: local trees and plants that not only withstand the harsh climate but also contribute to soil enrichment and, eventually, the creation of new habitats for local wildlife. These rehabilitation techniques are not just a temporary solution but a long-term investment. What's being done now ensures that future generations can live sustainably without relying on external interventions. The combination of traditional knowledge and modern technologies is showing the world that it's possible to effectively combat the desert's advance. And as these techniques continue to be refined, they're also providing a crucial benefit, creating new opportunities for communities to stay on their land. How is this affecting migration? Land restoration has a direct impact on people's lives, especially regarding migration. With the degradation of farmland, many residents in regions near the Sahara, like Senegal, were forced to migrate to urban areas or even to Europe in search of a way to survive. However, the Great Green Wall project is changing this dynamic. By bringing life back to the soil, it offers these people a new opportunity to stay in their communities, farm the land, and secure their livelihoods. Through greening the Sahara, people now have a new reason to stay. Imagine what it means for a family that has struggled for generations against desertification to see their land become productive again. This not only reduces the need for migration but also creates a sense of belonging. Young people, who often felt their only option was to leave their villages, now see real future prospects. This movement of keeping people on their land, offering them a chance to thrive, is key to slowing down migration. And more than that, it strengthens local communities, deepening social and economic roots in the region. The impact goes beyond the local economy. By reducing migration, there is less pressure on cities, which often lack the capacity to absorb this new population. Less migration also means fewer separated families and fewer interrupted lives. The Great Green Wall offers a solution that is not only environmental but also social. And as these communities begin to thrive again, a new cycle of opportunity is being born. But the work isn't finished yet. The question now is, how will this project continue to grow and impact even more lives? What we've seen today is just the beginning. The Great Green Wall project is transforming lives, but there's still much to be done. And how can you contribute? Have you thought about the impact small actions can have on projects like this? Maybe you can't plant a tree in the Sahara, but you can support local initiatives, share information, and, of course, stay informed. The future of our planet depends on each of us. How do you plan to be part of this change? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss how we can work together to reverse this reality. And if you want to keep receiving inspiring content like this, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join us in building a greener world.